welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick with the City of Hampton. And today we are going to talk about the Virginia Air and Space Center and all of the wonderful things they have going for this holiday season. My guest is the director, Bob Griesmer. Welcome back.
Well, thank you, Robin. We always enjoy coming and speaking with you.
You know, you guys always have so much fun going on, and I tend to think of it as being for the kids, but it's really for everybody.
Well, yeah, you know, it is. And in fact, we who are an institution that's involved in an awful lot of research in terms of how people go through and experience these things, know how important it is for parents to be able to not have to subordinate their enjoyment to that of the child, which happens in many situations when you go out as a family, but to be part of that process. And so programmable and scalable types of exhibit experiences is very much part of our strategic plan. We want parents interacting with their children, helping them to become curious, lifelong learners.
Yeah, because some museums are really scaled for kids,
Yes.
and some are really scaled for adults, where you just have to read things and look. And yours is both. There's interactivity, and yet as adults you can go to more levels.
That's right, and we are in a process of transitioning to this programmable and scalable model, so that a 7-year-old and an 11-year-old and a parent can also function on these exhibit platforms and be able to enjoy themselves. Now, are we there yet? No. This is the 21st century conceptual idea of what a museum needs to be to fulfill and be satisfying to the family who has a choice of where they go and how much value proposition they place into the dollars they spend for these types of experiences, and we're very sensitive to that.
Well, and especially as we look to the holidays, I know, for my family, it is Thanksgiving. That is the big holiday. My family comes into town from North Carolina, Atlanta, all over the place. And you get a little restless if they all stay in the house. you want to kick them out.
Yes, in my house, it was my mother telling my grandmother, "Take the kids and get them out of here. That's why you're here." So I get that completely. It's all been part of our growing up.
Yeah.
But that is one of the reasons why we made the model to make sure that they were really superb IMAX films, and so. It doesn't necessarily have to be about air and space. The primary consideration that management makes is when you come there, are you going to go into that theater and are you going to walk out feeling really good about what you experienced? So that is the reason why National Parks Adventure, which was blowing everybody away on the visuals and the music and the narration, stayed as long as it did. It's the reason why that same producer, Greg McGillivray, has just produced a film called The American Music Journey. And you would say, well, what does that have to do with air and space? Well, it has to do with Louis Armstrong, and it has to deal with the thread all the way through hip-hop and Elvis Presley and the blues and the gospel and all that wonderful stuff that just makes everybody put a big smile on their face. We tested this with audiences before we made the decision to bring it in, and it was 100% of the people, they were clapping at the end of this film, our test audiences. They were so excited. So, yes, now we have Hidden Universe, and you can go into the far reaches of the universe with telescopes, and we've got that. And we are a military community, and Newport News Shipbuilding is the grand master of building aircraft carriers, and we have Carrier 3D, and the execs at Newport News Shipbuilding were amazed at the images that were on screen at IMAX, because they said some of this stuff is so sensitive, we didn't know that the Navy had given permission to unveil it. And in fact, there's a couple of scenes back there where there's black cloth over the equipment, so that if you look really closely, you realize that the screens or whatever was behind them was covered up not to be able to expose it on video. So those 3 films are here for Thanksgiving. They're here for Christmas, and we have some new exhibits. Space Challenge.
What is Space Challenge?
Space Challenges are brand new. It's been 4 years in the making. It's a gaming in a way. It's a gaming program. That's the basis of it. There's at least $100,000 or more of software development that went into this. You come and you learn about a rocket, and then you can design your own rocket, and then you can build your own rocket. And if you build it correctly and it doesn't crash,
virtually building on the computer,
virtually building on the thing, and you can watch it launch, and when you've been able to escape velocity or get to the moon or whatever it is was your mission, the very large wall screen TV that's got 4 large TVs that are 70-inch TVs that make a TV wall, breaks out of the information loop that's up there and in a very loud voice lets everyone in the place know that you were just successful in launching a rocket. And you see the video of the new Boeing rocket with the new Ariza cable launching from Kennedy Space Center with the flames and the roaring and the sound and the drama. And you can imagine the expression on these children's faces as well as adults because there's a big reward here.
I will take my nephew and his rocket will launch and mine will crash. Yeah. I can see it now.
Yes,
I'll never live it down.
I'm crashing more often than I will care to admit, to be honest with you. I know how to go.
But fun.
Yeah, it is, and it's all part of this process. We're investing in exhibits, and in fact, the city has been good enough to back us in a challenge grant to build better exhibits along the lines that we've been speaking about today. So this year, annual campaign that we're sending letters out to are really going into building new exhibits with clients. So if you send us $1,000, it's going to turn into $2,000, and that can be done by anyone online at VASC.org and go to the section on donations, and you can do it online. You can send us a check at 600 Settlers Landing Road.
Well, it's time to think about that. We're nearing the end of the year. You got to tally up your tax donations. You got to think about where you want to spend your charitable money.
A lot of competition for people's generosity, but if the community believes that we're not just a nice place, but that the Virginia Air and Space is an essential place to this community, then we would be very appreciative if we had your support. And become a member, and come to the Virginia Air and Space Center, and bring your family and your friends. It is the gem of downtown Hampton.
Well, now I was going to say, and I know you want to talk about the gift shop, but we were talking about holiday or other, whatever your holiday is at this time of year, presents. A gift of membership would be an absolutely fabulous thing for a grandparent to give a family.
Yes.
Because kids have a lot of toys, they have a lot of stuff, but something like that can last all year. They can go again and again.
If the grandparent is in the area, what a wonderful way
they can
take them, because we have an adult. It's designed for the grandparent and a child. So it's a great way, because then they have quality time. It's not just watching TV with the child. It's this is a very, very popular program of buying a membership.
And I always did it, when my kids were little, because a lot of times there's reciprocal memberships other places, and when you travel, we belong to the zoo, we belong there, and when you travel, you get in other places free, and it encourages you to go do more stuff.
We are members
of
the
kids.
Association of Science and Technology Centers, so a membership carries with it free admission to 350 science museums around the world.
It's such a good deal.
And you know how much money that saves? You go out to visit family in San Diego, you go to the San Diego Reuben Fleet Air and Space Center, it's going to be $80 or $90 that would normally cost you to go in. But by being a member here, every science center of any merit in the United States, in North America, and other countries of the world will be free to by becoming a member at our institution. We sell them mostly at the front desk, I say. Mm-hmm. But thank you for mentioning that, because besides that special gift of military cufflinks or that leather bag or whatever it is, we've got some beautiful product that can be purchased at the store and online. If you go to the gift shop, there's an online gift shop store we have. But membership is also a wonderful gift.
And I believe, in this day and age, it is very easy to click and order something generic or to do a gift card, and those are wonderful too, and I totally get that.
Yes.
But when you can do something unique for somebody, and you can spend your dollars locally, and you're supporting jobs, and you're keeping that money in the community, there's just a whole lot of reasons to do that.
And let me say to the parents and to the grandparents and the guardians of the children in this community, that the research it is profound and it is true, that children react when they have the support of an adult or parent. This is motivates them in their classroom. It motivates them to become outside, free choice, curious, lifelong learners. It enables them to understand that to live in this world in the 21st century, you must be a nimble individual who is constantly renewing their skill sets. And what better way to do that than to introduce them to the science, technology, engineering, and math that we have in abundance as the official NASA Langley Visitor Center, an institution that is awe-inspiring not only to Hampton and America, but to everyone in the world.
Well, and I do think that schools have had to become so focused on facts. I mean, the SOLs were designed originally to answer questions and to be very holistic, but I think they've kind of had to teach to the test now. And you need these experiences to remind kids how to ask questions. You don't just learn that. You have to know what the questions are. You have to develop the curiosity.
Yes.
And sometimes there's just not enough time in the day for teachers to do all that.
And our superintendent here in Hampton is so brilliant in this regard. The development of the Ford Academy programs, I'm so pleased that he sits on our board of trustees and I have his advice and counsel. I will tell you that in another area that we don't have time to discuss today, we are working on just that matter. The fact that there needs to be a more holistic approach, and Dr. Jeffrey Smith knows that. He understands that that it's not about teaching to the test. It's teaching to understand that when you are curious and you are a problem solver, we have solved the problem. The problem is to make them problem solvers.
Right, right.
And to give them the skill set.
Teach them to ask questions and then to teach them to solve.
That's right. And to help them make those connections. Because math is not only about becoming a rocket scientist. You need fractions to be a carpenter. We have ECPI, who we've been in partners with on other things here, who teach kids in the 4th grade the academic elements of becoming using sonograms and nursing skills. All of these are in the STEM-related subject matter.
And the job market has changed so much now. Everything, things that used to be manual tasks are now being done in robotic ways, and the people involved need to learn how to work the robots. And, girls and often minority communities were taught science is too hard for you, or you can't do that, and we need to teach them they can, and you do that by making it fun.
Thank you so much. And that donation that we were talking about is going to go to enhance that robotics laboratory we have, to change the classrooms into more laboratories that people access, not only from schools, but as a public, that when they're not being used in the classrooms in the early mornings, that they're available to the public so that the visitor experience and the price value proposition of bringing your children here and enjoying yourself is enhanced.
And so the other thing is, every time we go, it's not the same. It is not a static museum. Of course, your IMAX movies change, but some of your exhibits change, and it's a pretty good sized museum. You tend not to be able to do and see everything in one visit. So it's the place you want to come back to, right?
And that is part of the overall arching strategy of our master plan. We have a theater that we're redoing again. That will have, not the IMAX theater, a smaller program with 4K projectors and laser projectors that are going to add additional small programming of 5 or 6 more programs. So when you come back, there's another program there as well to see, another exhibit. We've just upgraded the DC-9, which had avionics, and flying that large DC-9 was 15-year-old software. You can imagine where we are today. So you can now fly a DC-9 anywhere in the world to any airport in the world at the Virginia Air and Space Center. And that just is about to be completed. It's not open yet. I just remembered that it's not open, but
it might be by the time we air.
Or by the time we air, or certainly by Christmas, we're expecting it to be. Actually, we're just down to putting in some new airline seats. It's not easy to find airline seats from DC-9s from the 1970s.
Yeah, they're not as they're not.
Well, we want to keep it with that vintage look,
Yeah.
We still have the smell. When you walk into our DC-9, It smells like 1962, and that's a pleasant smell. So I don't want to get anybody upset at that. It does. I don't know what it is about
Isn't that fun?
that aircraft. For some reason, transports you back to the golden age of flying. When I can remember when I was a child, whenever my parents took me on an airplane, I had to wear a suit and tie.
Oh my gosh.
Now anything goes.
That's right.
But we've got the smell.
Good. Well, so it's a wonderful place, and really great to visit when the grandparents and the aunt and uncles are in town. Great to visit in the winter when the kids get cabin fever.
Winter time, yes.
There's a lot less to do outdoors. But great to visit anytime.
Yes.
Get that membership. I think that's the way to go. Let's encourage people to do that.
We are up 25% in the last 4 years on membership, and the way to get the membership is to produce a quality product that people say, I want to go back. We're not perfect, but we are always striving to be perfect, and I hope that the listeners of this program, the viewers of this program, take your advice and go out and buy that membership as a Christmas gift.
Okay.
Or a holiday gift.
Well, thank you so much, Bob. Tell us your website one more time so people
www.VASC, that's Virginia Air and Space Center, Victor Arthur Sam Charlie.org, and it tells the story there.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Robin. Always good to be with you.
And thank you for watching. I hope you will go see these wonderful IMAX this holiday season, this winter, and visit these exhibits. Take the kids, borrow some kids from your relatives, or just go visit as adults. Anyway, it will be a great time. Thanks for watching.